Every relationship hides a history, and every history carries its own ache. Somewhere between words, the truth always leaks through. She stood at the doorway, suitcase at her feet, her face split between light and shadow. "Tonight, I'm leaving. There's someone else," she said, her mouth twisting into a small, deliberate smile. "Don't call me. Don't text me." Her voice was cold, rehearsed, almost mechanical. I didn't argue. I didn't beg. I only nodded. She lingered, waiting for me to shatter, for my throat to tighten with some desperate plea, but I gave her nothing. The door closed softly behind her. Silence swallowed the house, heavy and unrelenting, like frost spreading across glass. I sat down. Calm. Steady. The echo of her words gnawed at me from the inside. I should have cried, should have screamed. 12 years of marriage erased with a smirk and a suitcase. But numbness is a sharper blade than grief. It doesn't burn, it cuts clean. Her betrayal hadn't come out of nowhere. I had seen it in the late-night messages, the work dinners, the weekends that never matched mine. I had looked away, pretended we were still what we used to be. Now the truth was standing in the open, bold enough to spit in my face. Pain doesn't just sit quietly. It twists, it hardens, it becomes something unrecognizable. That night, I didn't weep. I planned. By morning, the house felt gutted. The bed cold. Her perfume still hung in the air like an insult. Then my phone started. Buzz after buzz, call after call, her name lighting the screen again and again. By noon, the number was almost mocking, 99 missed calls. I didn't answer. Her words from the night before stayed with me. Don't call me. Don't text me. So I obeyed. And in that obedience, I discovered a strange power. Curiosity is dangerous. It whispers even when reason warns you to stay still. On the second day, I broke. Not by speaking to her, but by watching. I followed her movements. The man she left for, a colleague, married, wealthy, smug enough to believe she was a prize he'd won. Their affair wasn't a sudden spark. It had been careful, patient, built on my blind trust and the sacrifices I'd made to keep our life together. But what she hadn't expected was this. I had been silent too long, and silence, when sharpened, can cut deeper than any scream. I gathered everything. Screenshots, bank records, his texts, her promises, each fragment stitched together until it became a rope thick enough to bring their whole world down. And I waited. 3 nights later, she showed up at my door. No suitcase, no smug smile this time. Her face was swollen from crying, her makeup a mess. "Please," she whispered through the wood. "Let me in." I didn't. She leaned her forehead against the door like it could hold her up. "He lied to me. Used me. His wife knows everything. I have nowhere else to go." Her voice broke, and for once, there was no act. Just raw, desperate truth. For a moment, I almost opened the door. Almost. Instead, I slid an envelope across the floor. Inside, every receipt, every screenshot, his messages laughing at her, calling her nothing more than a temporary distraction, a toy he'd already thrown away. Her sobs echoed down the hall. I stood there in silence, listening to the sound of her falling apart. By morning, her name was everywhere. Not for beauty, not for charm, just scandal. The evidence had reached the right hands, his wife's lawyers, his board of directors. She was painted as nothing more than a willing accessory to his lies. Her reputation shattered. Still, my phone buzzed. Calls. Messages. Begging. I never answered. Weeks later, I saw her outside a cafe. She looked smaller somehow, thin, hollow-eyed, her clothes wrinkled. She saw me, froze, and for an instant, hope flickered across her face. I kept walking. She reached out, voice barely holding together. "Please." I didn't stop. Not for her. Not for the years we shared. Not for the memory of love that had long rotted away. My silence was the only revenge I ever needed. Louder than screaming, sharper than tears. And that was the moment she finally understood. When I think back now, I don't think about the suitcase, the smug smile, or the cruel words that started it all. I think about the 99 missed calls. Each one its own confession. Each one a reminder that she walked away thinking she had the power. But in the end, she was the one pleading. And I never had to raise my voice. I just let her drown in the same silence she once left me in.